Hi, welcome to Roboflow training movie. In this training movie, I will explain how a special sorting functionality in Roboflow can help you, for instance, process a certain number of records in a certain order. And by doing so, also maybe get to the first or the last record in such a search result. So in this example, I take a hot collection workflow, and a normal query would be something like ID smaller than something. In this case, this will result in 2 records, and by default, if I process it, the sort order will be actually by ID, or actually by creation order, which equals the ID. But you can force the order. You can say you need to sort on something else. In this case, I could say sort on record name, for instance. By default, again, it will sort ascending from small to high. If I prefix the name of this field with a plus, it will also do ascending from low to high. If I prefix it with a minus, it will sort it will sort also descending from high to low. In some previous versions, you might have seen that this was allowed, or this was allowed. In some versions this could be still supported, but the safest way to work with this is just to use the minus if you want to change the sort order from the normal ascending to descending. Then it will work in every version and in every scenario. So also remember, if you have query parts, theoretically this is also allowed, but if you combine it then with additional values, you're making it very difficult for Roboflow to evaluate this. So always make sure to put parts of your query between parentheses. So if you want to add something else, it's a good idea to and do something like this, so that every part of a query is nicely identifiable. So let's leave this here. This will return 2 records, and what I just want to do, and this is going to give me twice the same result, is I am now going to open that catalog, and this is a functionality, this action script, which you might maybe use in a hot folder workflow where some new file comes in and you want to find out what the last version, what the last value of a certain field was, because you want to increment that. Then this is how you would do this. In this case, we're started with a hot collection workflow, just because I wanted to explain also the ordering on this side. I open a catalog. What is important, of course, even if it's the same catalog, you need a separate collection because you're going to do a search in that. And then I'm saying give me every record, and I just want to look for the highest record ID number for no particular reason. I just want, as an example, to pick up the highest record ID. So I'm saying give me every record that has an ID, which is every record, and order it by ID, but descending, which means that I will get first to the last record, and then it will be the second to last, etc., etc. Then here, this output variable is the number of records found. And so you can always, if your query, if you want to test if your query had a result, if it's not null, or -1 is the result of this value if there was a mistake in your query, if there's a syntax error. Don't try this part in your Cumulus client or whatever other client Cumulus environment where you can do an advanced search. This order by does not exist outside Roboflow. This syntax is only available here. So then I'm processing the records to find the last one. Of course, I don't want to process all the records. I sort it so that I can find the record that I want as first record in this search result. So I'm selecting the catalog and I'm outputting it in an output variable. Make sure, since we are in this example in the hot collection workflow, you know that the record it is processing is called hot. So you're opening another catalog here, so you're getting records of that other catalog collection. So you should not call it hot. I just called it xt hot as an example to call it something else. Then in the process, this is going to go for every record, except that I'm ending this with exit current loop, which means that it processes the first record, it encounters this flag, and then when it goes to this instruction, it says, okay, I need to stop. So it's actually only processing the first record this way. And because we sorted descending, it means that we get the last record. So I'm storing the ID as an example, and the objective is of course the record object is of course xt hot, and I'm calling the variable my last one, and I'm just writing this to the log so we can see in our log, and then I exit. Make very sure that you close your catalog, because otherwise imagine that this search result ends with 100 records and then it needs to do that process 100 times, then you will automatically open the catalog 100 times. So you make sure that you close the catalog 100 times. Another solution is to put this open inside a test if first work record. And so you could put this inside here, conditional workflow progress, and then you could test first item of loop, and the output variable is whatever you want to call it. I do call it test first. And so then if you put this inside here, cut, paste, then this is only executed for the first record from this search result. Be careful. You need to prefix in that case the name of the catalog with not the name of the catalog, but the name of the variable with global, because this is not going to be executed for the second record, and if you don't prefix it with global, it stores it in the variable environment of this one execution, which means that it would not be there for the next. So that means that also in that case you need to put that too in the next. So test workflow progress, okay, test last, and then here we're going to paste this in here. So this is making your workflow a little bit more efficient. That means that now your workflow will only open this second catalog or second instance of the same catalog, it doesn't matter, once and not twice, and so or not for each record. And so this is the record, so that's fine. Okay, so let's run this workflow so that we can have a look at the result. If I do here start, then do show log. As I said, it's going to find two records because there's only two records below the record ID 131 as we did in the search, and it first did the balloon and then did the airplane, and then it comes to the second part is the action script. The action script performs a query and does a sorting, and the result is that the highest ID that it finds is 262 in the catalog. And so that means the sample catalog, the highest record is 262. And of course we're doing the same thing for airplane, but it's the same process that we're doing in the action script, so that's why it finds the same thing. So if we do one final small change, if we say, okay, I want to do it the other way around. And we want to go here. And I want just to get the first one. Because we're not inversing, then I can say start. Show log. Now you can see in the previous one it was first doing balloon and then airplane. Now it's doing first airplane and balloon, which is the normal sort order ascending based on the record name. And then now we were looking for the first record, so we found the first record which has the ID of 129. So that's how you can play with sorting and how you can play with getting the first or the last record of a catalog. Thank you for joining.